What's up, guys? John here. The average American has now negative equity on their vehicle over $6,000. But when you look at what's happening inside of this market, you're going to see something very shocking. This, I believe, is going to be the greatest auto market bubble in American history. It kind of reminds me of the real estate crash in 2005 and 2006, right before the great financial crisis. Real estate agents, real estate investors, mortgage lenders, they were making a fortune.
How many loans do you write each month?
About 60.
Yeah, I was a bartender. Now I own a boat.
Well, the last couple of years, it was auto dealers. It was car sales reps. It was everyone inside of that industry. They were selling cars 20, 30, 40% over sticker price.
Finding an affordable new car is harder than ever.
The average car price is now more than $48,000, and buyers are being further squeezed by rising interest rates.
It was a free-for-all. They were making a fortune. But when you look at what's happening right now, you can see before your very eyes that we're going to see tens of millions of Americans walk away from their car when they see how bad things really are and how really bad this situation is getting for their vehicle's worth. We're going to see these car prices continue to crash in a very big way. And these dealers that have, tons of cars that are repossessing these lenders, they're going to have to sell these vehicles. They're going to fire sell them, meaning the prices are going to continue to come down. So this is only the tip of the iceberg. If you're thinking about buying a used car, you pay very close attention to this, because I think you're going to be able to get some smoking deals in 2024 as these dealers get desperate to unload this inventory. Please hit the like button. Hit the like button. YouTube will share this content to educate more people about what's going on. And if you'd like to fix your credit to position yourself for the greatest transfer of assets in American history, maybe you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any negative item in your credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com. Click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free strategy session. We'd love to help you. Love to get on a free call with you. See how we can go about helping you. Take a look at this. So, I mean, this is shocking. There's more delinquencies on auto loans now than during the great financial crisis, right? So when I said it was like 2005, 2006, I mean, conservatively, this is going to get worse than that, like by a landslide. Look at Edmunds.com, right? What they just said is they said 1/3 of Americans owe $250,000 in debt. 1/3. So when you're looking at 1/3 of Americans owe $250,000 debt, primarily consisting of mortgages, auto loans, and I would also probably throw in student loans, right? In addition, the report also, the average consumer owes 3.5 times their yearly income in outstanding debt, with 30% of Americans having overdue payments, or an average of 14 late payments. An average of 14 late payments. What many people don't realize is the late payment fee, that's the least of their problems. Once it goes on their credit report, it's going to stay on your report for 7 years and drop your credit score upwards of 180 points, preventing them from getting access to cheaper money. So they're going to pay more every time they need to borrow, which is going to be a lot more expensive than that one-time late fee. Late fees cost American families approximately $12 billion annually. As the report noted, 55% of high-debt consumers have auto loans versus 26% of low-debt consumers. Now, what people don't realize is that 10 years ago, people would put 20% down, right? 20% down, they buy a $50,000 car, they go put 10 grand down, and they feel like, hey, I got some skin in the game. But the last couple years, people didn't put any money down, zero. In fact, they would get a loan, 125% loan to value, meaning if they bought a $50,000 car, they would drive off the lot with a $62,500 loan. That's how bad this situation is. That's how bad this bubble is. But when you look at this, they're using this calculation of negative 6,000 equity is the value of the car drops 6,000. So if you have a $34,000 car, right, which is the average used car price in America, and you have a $6,000 drop in that, that's a 17, almost an 18% decline in that car's value. But when you have a loan that's 25% above the full price of the car when you purchased it, well, it's a 42% drop in value. So when you look at this, you take a car for $34,000 and you're reducing it, 42%, it's a substantial loss for that person that has a car. Now people say, John, there's no way they lost 40% of their value. I mean, well, look at this article that came out from Yahoo News, 10 used cars that have dropped up to 30% in 2023, just this year, 30%. This came out 4 days ago, right? You have the Nissan Leaf, you have the Tesla Model 3, the Chevy Bolt, the Tesla Model X, the Tesla Model S. I mean, Tesla's getting absolutely destroyed. The Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, the BMW 5 Series, the Land Rover, the Range Rover, Land Rover Discovery, Land Rover Velar. So you start to look at these vehicles, you're like, okay, well, if you have this situation that's unfolding here, look at how bad this was, by the way, before I even dive into that. In 2020, 14 million cars sold, 14,577,000, right? In 2021, it was 15 million sold, right? In 2022, you have a total of 13.9 million. You add all this up, and what are you seeing here? You're seeing a total number of used cars, sold, new and used, 43,559,000, right? So you're seeing almost 44 million cars sold, but 80% of those cars have a loan. 80% have a loan. So you have 34 million Americans with a car with a loan, right? Most of these people are under significant stress financially. When you look at the fact that the average American is 125% loan to value, what are you going to see here? Of these 34 million, 25 million, right, are underwater. Probably more, like conservatively, probably more. And so when you're looking at this and you're like, okay, well, this is only just the tip of the iceberg. Interest rates played a role in this storm. As rates have climbed, new borrowers see their monthly payments also increase. Cox Automotive found that in February, the average monthly payment for a new car was a shocking $760. Sadly, that was after a decrease in the $791 peak in December 2022. Plenty of consumers feel their monthly car bill will bust their budget, yet hasn't already happened. The poor choices come with consequences. There's yet another thing fueling predictions of a growing wave of repossessions, a predicted tidal wave of layoffs, which is happening now. We've seen some layoffs from big companies here and there since 2022, but some economists are predicting far more on the horizon. Back in April, NBC News dared to use the R word, recession, when talking about the increase in car repos. That's right, the corporate news agency said the anticipated recession could further complicate Americans' financial situation. So you start to look at this situation and you're like, okay, well, you have car insurance at a 40-year high, the biggest annual jump in 47 years. And then you have this interesting trend, looking at salary reduction on Google Trends, breaking the chart since 2020. So what are we going to start to see here? This is what I think we're going to start to see. 2020, 2021, they were making a fortune. All employees, business owners, there was so much money out there. Even Amazon was offering to pay, going from $160,000 to $350,000 for corporate and tech workers, right? They were doubling salaries, right? Now what is Amazon doing? Amazon is, they're taking 750,000, their fulfillment network staffed by 750,000 robots, right? They're moving to automation. They're moving to robotics. They're moving to tech. Right? This is what's going to happen. They're not going to start paying their employees $350,000 when, they can maybe pay them $120, $130, and they can continue to move into automation. This is what is going to happen. The next couple of years are going to be a big push towards automation and driving down costs inside of a business to try to weather this storm. That's what we're walking into. The last couple of years, we were in a situation where there's just free money everywhere. Everyone felt rich, right? And what did people do when they felt rich? They were borrowing money. Buying nice cars. I mean, 1 out of 4 Americans has a car payment over $1,000 a month. They were buying beautiful homes. They were buying Airbnbs. They were buying NFTs. They were investing, right? They were putting money to work because they felt like the party was never going to be over. But now, party's looking like it's coming to an end. So when you look at this situation, you look at what auto lenders are doing. Some big lenders are pulling out of Canada right now entirely. When you look at what's happening, what are they going to do? They're going to need to fire sale these vehicles, these tens of millions of vehicles. That's what's going to happen. Over 20,000 cars getting repossessed every single day. Just imagine what's going to happen when the student loans continue to trickle in. 40% of Americans are not paying student loans out of 43.5 million borrowers. You're looking at like 18, 20 million borrowers not paying. So when you look at these numbers, you're like, okay, well, you walk into the holidays, record high credit card debt, record high consumer debt, record high interest rates. You're going to see a situation where auto loan defaults are going to continue to skyrocket. They're going to get out of control. These lenders are going to need to offload this inventory. And if you're sitting there with cash, sitting there with your great credit score, you're going to be able to walk in there and pick up somebody else's problem, right, for a really, really good price. I think we're walking into a situation that we'll never see again in American history. I think we're walking into a situation to buy luxury cars for pennies on the dollar, even nice, reliable cars. Like you're looking for a nice Toyota Camry, looking for a nice Honda Civic, a nice Honda, something cheap to maintain, something that is cheap to fill, the gas tank, something that will run for a long time, 200 miles, 300,000 miles, no problem. Those vehicles might be a really, really good buy, because you might see a lot of people that can't hold on to them, right? They maybe overpaid for them a couple of years ago. They have to sell them. And even nice Lexuses, You know, these old cars, these cars that, you know, will run at least until they're, you know, very old in age, these cars are going to be some really good buys. I think we're going to see some really, really big changes coming for the auto market. It's already starting now. Negative equity is creeping up. And these lenders, these dealers are going to have to unload this inventory. Drop below. Let's have a conversation about this. If you have a repossession on your record, if you have any late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, any issues at all on your credit report, and you're thinking about making a big move in 2024, maybe buying a nice car, maybe investing in real estate, getting a business loan, you're going to want great credit. Go to GreatCreditFast.com. You can book a call by clicking the link in the description just below this video. We'd love to give you a free strategy session. We've recently just hired 2 employees that are they were formerly disputing for Equifax. So if you have any questions, maybe you have a complicated or complex situation on your report, get some free advice. Book a call below at GreatCreditFast.com, and I'll catch you in the next video.